Right guys, welcome back to the channel. By this point, I am officially retired from competitive bodybuilding. As of right now, I'm still yet to do my show. However, I thought I would address a common question that I'm getting both on Instagram and on my comments in my YouTube. And I've touched upon multiple times, but I appreciate actually I've never done a single video on it. I sort of mentioned bits offhand about why I am retiring from competitive bodybuilding, what are the reasons, and just to give you guys an insight into my thought process behind it and my reasons behind it, because I think that's quite important so that people can understand where I'm coming from and can also, you know, think about their own journeys, where they're at, what they want to achieve, and kind of what's worth it. So I have made some notes because I do want this video to try and be as concise as possible and to cover every aspect. But I know for a fact the more I talk about the reasons why I'm stopping, the more reasons I come up with, which again tells me everything I need to know that this is the right decision. But we'll start with kind of the most important thing, and the thing that anyone needs to consider within bodybuilding, whatever level, and that is risk versus reward. And obviously with bodybuilding, there is a risk with regards to what we do, what we use, how we push our bodies, and there is a reward. And you know, up until this point, the risk reward has very much been kind of in favour of reward for me. You know, I've achieved some fantastic things I never thought I would, and you know, that's led me to a point where I'm at today, where the risk ratio is starting to take over. To further my progress, I have to push harder, I have to take more risks, and the rewards I am likely to get from that are very small and, in my opinion, not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze, so to speak. So that's kind of like, in reality, that sums up everything that really you need to know. But you know, other things that have helped me make this decision are like, I've achieved more in bodybuilding over the last 14 years than I ever thought I would. You know, when I started out, I just did it because someone said, you know, you've committed, you know, a good amount of time to training, you tight with your diet, why don't you try it? I tried it, I loved it, fell in love with it, found an absolute passion and a lifelong passion. And I honestly, you know, I still see myself as that lanky kid who used to swim. I never thought that I would be Mr. Universe. I never thought I would be a pro in any federation, let alone the IFBB. And really, you know, outside of now moving on to getting a top 3 or winning a pro show, I've done it all. And that's quite a nice thing to say, and I think quite a nice position to be able to walk away from the sport with my head held high and feel pretty damn proud of myself. And again, walking away from the sport, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is leave on my own terms. You know, I see friends, I see people I look up to who are forced out of competing through injury, through illness, and they end up almost resenting it. And for me, you know, I want to be able to walk away and still be very much involved. You know, I like I said earlier, I have a passion for this. I found a passion when I started bodybuilding, and I don't want to lose that passion. I don't want to resent it. I don't want to be, you know, have anything happen that then forces me to, you know, regret any of my decisions. I want to get out with my health on my own terms. And also I want to continue to share my passion. You know, I want to be in a position to do that. So obviously, you know, coaching is my job. I want to be able to continue coaching at an even higher level now, because I don't have to be as selfish. I could throw even more into that. And, you know, bodybuilding or whatever you do, you know, you only have 100% to give to any area of your life. Bodybuilding has taken up a huge percentage of my life for a huge amount of time. You know, it has compromised and sacrificed previous relationships. It's compromised potential work opportunities, potential work progressions, developments. So now it's just the right time for me to step aside the selfish endeavors and put more into those avenues and really embrace it and enjoy it, because I love those things. I love coaching. I want to be, you know, without sounding kind of big-headed, I feel like I have a lot to give, not just from a knowledge standpoint and experience standpoint, but from a kind of how to go about things and be a mentor to the next generation of bodybuilders, either through, social media or the guys who get to work with me one-to-one. And all of this is somewhat held back with my own bodybuilding. So that's a big factor of it. Another thing that people often are reluctant to admit is you have to be realistic, right? As I said, I never expected to be an IFBB pro. I never thought I would be able to achieve this standard. But where do I go from here? What are my future prospects? When I started this season, I said I didn't want to come last. I said I'd love a top 10. That's great, but no one remembers top 10s. No one really remembers top 5s. You're lucky if you remember a top 3, if it's a really big fucking show. I'm never going to win a show. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, that's negative. That's not negative. There are an incredible number of genetically gifted bodybuilders who are far, far better than me and who at any given time can turn up on show day and beat me. And no matter how hard I push, no matter how hard I work, no matter how many drugs I take, I do believe I am very, very close to reaching that genetic ceiling of what I am capable of. So again, being realistic, I'm still going to bodybuild. I will still be a bodybuilder, but I don't have the sort of need or the drive to push myself to achieve something that realistically is outside of my ability. So like I said, for me, I'm still going to bodybuild. I'm still going to train. I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to embrace the routine. These are the things I love. I still love bodybuilding. This is the thing I want to really emphasize. This is not me stopping bodybuilding. This is me stopping competing. This is me stepping away from the extremes of the sport for my own health, for my own, life and kind of, I suppose, future prospects and future goals outside of the sport. And I think that's a good note to finish on. Outside of the sport, 10 years ago, when I was in the thick of, giving everything, I would die for bodybuilding back then. I really, really would. I didn't have anyone. I didn't have anything to be responsible for or to care for. And I do now. I have a huge reason for living. I have a huge reason outside of the sport to look forward to things, and that is a vet. That ultimately comes down to a lot. Being able to spend more time with her, because she has, I think anyone who is a loved one of someone in bodybuilding sacrifices more than they realise and than you realise, and that's not by their own choice, and that is that's quite unfair. And I want to be able to, that woman loves me no matter what, which I'm so grateful for, but I want to be able to give more time, give more effort, give more love, and be less selfish. I certainly don't want to get to the point where I push this particular chapter that far that I push her away, and I'll be honest, I don't think that would happen because of the person she is. But that's not to say that I don't want to, I don't want that to even be a risk factor. That's a risk far, far outside of anything I'm willing to take. She has supported me, she has put up with me, and she has allowed me to pursue my own personal ambitions for the past, 5-6 years we've been together. And it's not about me feeling bad on her. Of course I do. You can tell through the emotion that I feel an element of guilt through that, what she's had to sacrifice. But I really want to spend more time. I want to create more memories. I want to do more things. And unfortunately, the person I am as a bodybuilder is I am so all in, because I know for me that's what it has had to take to push and to get to the level of where I'm at, that, I will really, cut down on occasions. And, I know people say, oh, balance, and I'm afraid to say that balance does not exist in my world when I'm bodybuilding. And I'm very aware that that is not healthy. I'm very aware that that is not good for anyone. So yeah, a big reason for me personally, probably the most important reason is to be able to spend more time with the vet, continue to grow together, continue to create the life that we've established over the past few years, and just really move on from competing with so much to look forward to. And I can sit here now with a big smile on my face, a lot of emotion in my voice, knowing that while I will undoubtedly have a lot of an element of loss, because our bodybuilding is all I've known for the past 14, 15 years, the opportunities, the excitement ahead of me with Yvette, with business, with clients, with coaching, and other opportunities and things that I have planned, there's so much to look forward to and so much more to come, and I'm going to share as much as I can on this channel. So yeah, hopefully that covers anyone's questions. And now if someone asks, I can direct them to this YouTube video, and I don't need to write out a lengthy YouTube response or comment response or Instagram response. But yeah, any questions, let me know, guys. That very much rounds up the reasons why I'm retiring, and the reasons why, again, having gone through them just now, I can sit here and know deep down in my heart of hearts that is the right decision. Thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate everything you guys do to support the channel. Much love.